What started as a fun adventure ended with a very grisly discovery.
No, because I heard Natalie saying Jamie even when the windows were locked.
No, I didn't say anything.
You didn't say Jamie?
No.
Randonautica. That was the most terrifying experience ever. We started out, we were like,
Wow! Savannah!
I just went randonauting, and our intention was death. We were on our way to the spot, and I look out my window, and there's someone laying in the gutter.
Suddenly, as they poked open the suitcase with a stick, the smell became overwhelming, and only then did they realize something sinister might be inside.
In 2020, a piece of software titled Randonautica hit the App Store. The app claims that it will manifest a user's intention for their randonauting journey, and gives them a randomly generated location on their GPS. Essentially, the app encourages the user to physically go to a random location somewhere in the world, promising that by setting their intention, they will find what they need or desire in their travels. Randonautica has cultivated a truly strange reputation, with some accusing the app of being a tool for dark web traffickers, while others claim that it genuinely possesses metaphysical spiritual properties. Although these claims are interesting, at the end of the day they are just rumors. But there is one aspect of this app that is not a rumor. This is the true story of how Randonautica helped solve a murder. On June 19, 2020, a group of teenagers were having fun exploring using Randonautica. Following the location given to them by the app, the teenagers stumbled upon a suitcase up on the rocky shore of a beach in Seattle. The teens recorded themselves giggling and opening the suitcase and uploaded the video to TikTok under the username @UgHenry. As one of them prodded open the luggage with a stick, however, they all slowly stopped laughing. The teens were confronted with a sickening smell emanating from the luggage. Horrified by what might be inside, they called 911. When police arrived, they discovered the remains of 2 people within that suitcase. This incident is largely how Randonautica received such a strange and infamous reputation. Parents, along with the media, began warning people of an app that guides teens to dead bodies. To make matters worse for Randonautica's reputation, the creator of the app was quoted in an interview saying, "When you're sending millions of people to random locations and searching the hidden corners of reality, you're bound to find some pretty shocking stuff sometimes. It's not the best press, but I'm not really that upset about it, because it's kind of cool. I kind of wish it was me who found it." I imagine some of you are familiar with this story, as it caused a huge media stir at the time. There's one thing that I haven't seen covered, though. What happened after they found the bodies? Who put them there? And who were the victims? The remains found in the suitcase that day were 35-year-old Jessica Lewis and 27-year-old Austin Wenner, identified by police using their fingerprints. Upon contacting the victims' families, police discovered that the two had not been heard of since early June, and that they were living in a house they rented from their landlord, Michael Lee Dudley. On June 9th, almost 2 weeks before the victims were found, a 911 call had been made by the neighbors of the house Dudley was renting to them. The 911 call claimed to have heard yelling followed by gunshots at the house. Briefly before this call, both of the victims' cell phones were shut off. When police arrived at the home, no one answered, and they decided not to investigate further. A woman claims to have been at the house that day, at which time she spoke to Dudley. Upon entering one of the rooms in the home, she claimed to have seen a bloodied hand hidden beneath a pile of laundry. When she confronted Dudley about what she saw, he allegedly replied, "Let's just put it this way. His gun misfired and mine didn't." I will say that this story's validity seems somewhat dubious to me, but it was officially reported to the police. Dudley admitted to police during questioning in 2020 that he had an ongoing conflict with the victims due to their inability to pay rent, although he asserted that he would never escalate their dispute to violence. Nevertheless, Dudley was arrested and charged with the couple's murders. In April of 2023, he was found guilty and sentenced to 46 years in prison. Almost all of the evidence in this trial was circumstantial, as Dudley would have had ample time to cover his tracks before the police caught on. Aside from a few bullets and a very small sample of the victim's blood, there was no physical evidence for the crime in Dudley's home. The weapon used to commit the crime was never recovered, and Dudley maintains his innocence to this day. Upon being sentenced, Dudley had this to say: "This isn't really about me. This is about justice for Austin and Jessica. And when all things are considered, I'm sure the truth will come out. In the end, they did good despite their pernicious nature." Dudley's defense team criticized the prosecution pretty heavily due to their slim amount of physical evidence. Forensic experts only found a small smudge of blood in the house and none in Dudley's car. Additionally, the bullets found in the home were confirmed by experts to have never gone through a human target. In response to this, the prosecution highlighted that Dudley had a 2-month head start on the police, and plenty of time to get rid of evidence. Although there is little physical evidence, there are certain circumstances that indicate Dudley was at the very least involved in the murder. The night before the remains were discovered by Randonautica users, Dudley's phone had pinged off a cell phone tower near where the victims were dumped. It was the first time his phone had been in that area over the 3 months of phone records acquired by police. Now, this may all seem like it ties up neatly, but there are still many unanswered questions surrounding this case. Firstly, and perhaps most tragic of them all, Wenner's full remains have never been discovered. This obviously brings great grief to the families of the victims, and due to Dudley's steadfast denial, he will not be revealing the remains' locations anytime soon. In fact, at the time of writing this, Dudley plans on appealing his sentence. There's one more loose end in this case, and its implications are nothing short of terrifying. Dr. Kathy Taylor, a forensic anthropologist, believes that this crime was likely committed with the aid of others. Taylor believes this to be the case because the dismemberment of the bodies were inconsistent, disorganized, and accomplished with the use of multiple tools, not just one. These revelations indicate that multiple parties may have worked with Dudley to help him dispose of the bodies. As long as Michael Lee Dudley continues to maintain his innocence, the full truth of this terrible crime may never come to light. From the cloudy details surrounding the murders to the teenagers' discovery of the remains using Randonautica, this case is uniquely bizarre from beginning to end. Our hearts go out to the victims and their families, as well as the teens who made this horrifying discovery. Naturally, the public had a morbid fascination with the role of Randonautica in this case. The app, already mysterious and controversial, has now become the stuff of internet folklore. But is there any credence to Randonautica's dark and scandalous reputation, given what we know about the app itself? Although it may seem sinister, the app leading those teens to the body seems to be a genuine coincidence. Additionally, rumors about dark web involvement with the app was largely cultivated by sensationalist TikToks trying to pull in views. Admittedly, I don't believe the app's ominous and occult aesthetic helped its reputation. Even the logo admits a pretty sinister vibe, and when coupled with the discovery of the bodies, it's pretty easy to start making up believable ghost stories about the app. All in all, there doesn't seem to be anything explicitly malicious going on Randonautica, despite what you might hear on TikTok. That being said, as with anything, it is a good idea to exercise caution while using Randonautica. Even if the app is completely innocent, it still does send you to a random location. If you're going to mess around with Randonautica, make sure to do it with a friend or in a group. As we have seen, the world is full of strange and dark surprises. Thank you for watching. I'm the Ivory Door.
The Ivory Door.